From now on, we will study about the derivatives of a verb to reveal the point in time when the experience, condition, or action actualizes with our form. We can understand that each form of a verb derivative reveals the information about time when the definition of the derivative actualizes. We will start to study from the two classifications that consist of the table from the rows. The first row is about the trait, the classification for a word into the two traits. The first trait to classify a word is an indication. And the second trait to classify a word is whether the word is a description. A word can be classified into an indication or a description at first, and an indication can be specified into a noun or a pronoun. However, we will study a direct indication. So this blank is built with the term or noun, and this can be understood with the fact that a pronoun is to replace a pronoun because the speaker intends the indirect indication. The second classification for a word or description can be classified into an adjective and an adverb. Because we study about a derivative of a verb, we will not classify a word into a verb. And we will study about the columns to classify each derivative according to the information delivered by the form. The first column is about a root infinitive, and the form of the root infinitive reveals a point in time, same as the time when the definition of the verb actualizes. This can be understood with the form of the root infinitive that has the same form as a verb. The form of the verb applied in the simple tense describes an experience, a condition, or an action actualized at a point in time. The second column is about to infinitive. That is the combination of the preposition to and the object of the preposition to, indicated by a root infinitive that has the same form as a verb. So we can understand that the definition of the preposition to is added into this application of to infinitive. To infinitive, as we studied, to infinitive can be applied with the trait as a noun or as a noun on adjective or on adverb. To infinitive reveals a point in time later than the point in time when the definition of the verb actualizes. The subject of the preposition to has exists at first according to the point in time revealed by the tense of the clause. If the clause is stated in the past tense and the subject of the preposition to is applied in the clause stated in the past tense, we can understand that the subject of the preposition to existed in the past, and we can understand that the subject of the preposition to had a purpose to be actualized later than the past when the subject of the preposition to existed. We can understand that the point in time when the subject of the preposition to had a purpose is different from the point in time when the definition of the root infinitive, that is the object of the preposition to, actualized. And we will, in the third column, the combination of the to infinitive, to have, and a past participle is introduced. In this phrase of the preposition to, we can understand that the object of the preposition to is stated as a root infinitive, have. The root infinitive have has the same form as the intransitive verb have, and the definition of the past participle specifies the definition of the root infinitive have. We can think of the clause stated in the perfect tense. when the speaker intends to describe how the experience of the subject is, the speaker states a clause in the perfect tense, and if the speaker intends to describe how the purpose of the subject of the preposition to be actualized and last during a period, the combination of preposition to, the root infinitive have, and the past participle with the trait as an verb to specify the definition of the root infinitive have reveals that the proposed condition to describe the experience of the subject of the preposition to be complete later than the point in time when the subject of the preposition to exists. There can be an experience stated in the perfect tense, and there can be the proposed experience to be actualized. And the speaker can state the proposed experience to be complete later than the point in time when the subject of the preposition to exists. The first column is about a duration of an experience, a condition, or an action during a period specified from a point in time. The speaker reveals this duration with a specific form of a derivative with a verb that is the body of the derivative and the suffix ing that reveals that the definition of the body that has the same form as the verb lasts during a period. This form of a derivative with a body same as the verb and the suffix ing can be applied as an indication with a term gerund, and can be applied as a description with the term a present participle. And this form of a body that has the same form as a verb and the suffix ing reveals a period, reveals that the actualization of this derivative needs a period to include the point in time when the definition of the verb actualizes. We can think of the duration through a period, and we can find the origin of the period specified from a point in time. The point in time is stated according to the tense of the clause that these derivatives are applied in. The fifth column is about the completion in the subject-object relationship. From the study about the perfect tense, we have studied about the subject-object relationship with time as the subject and the object to receive the period, and this object in the subject-object relationship with time becomes the subject of this clause stated in the perfect tense. So we can understand that there are two kinds of the subject-object relationships. The first one is with time as a subject, and the second one is the subject-object relationship mediated by a transitive verb or a preposition. From this perspective, we can understand the past participle the application of the past participle is suitable to describe the object to complete the subject-object relationship with time. So, a gerund having and a past participle can be applied to the fact that the object is described by a past participle means that the object completes the subject-object relationship. And the speaker also can indicate the completion of an experience. the form of the past participle is accorded with this information a point in time earlier than the point in time when the definition of the verb actualizes. Sorry? If the speaker intends to indicate how the experience of the subject has lasted, can apply the speaker can apply the combination of a gerund having and a past participle to specify the definition of